Welcome to the Hired Not Fired podcast, brought to you by The Real Me, the soft skills first talent solution that helps employers hire entry-level employees with better developed soft skills, such as communication, problem solving, or emotional intelligence. Join us as we sit down with hiring managers, talent leaders, and others and get insider tips to help Gen Z stand out and get hired. Let's dive in. Welcome to this new episode of Hired Not Fired. Today's guest, I am talking to Robbin Boyd. Robbin is a dynamic leader in early career talent acquisition, currently serving as Senior Manager of Early Career Talent and DEI Champion at Southern Glazer's Wine and Spirits. In this role, she has spearheaded initiatives resulting in a 65% intern conversion rate and national program accolades, including the #1 sales marketing program ranking by Vault. Her dedication to culture and engagement is evident through strategic partnerships with historically Black colleges and universities, Hispanic serving institutions, and her strong commitment to supporting queer youth. Robbin is passionate about empowering and investing in the next generation of leaders. Welcome, Robbin.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks, Deb.
So let's start off by asking you a little bit about Southern Glazer Wine and Spirits.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, what does your company actually do and how big is the team?
So we are the largest alcohol and wine distributor in the United States. So before I joined this industry, I thought, the Tito's truck drove to Specs or Walmart and dropped off Tito's, and that's not how it works. So we distribute over 7,000 suppliers across the United States and the Caribbean, and we have about 30,000 employees nationally.
Wow.
My team is small. My team is 6 people, including myself, but we are small but mighty.
That's great. Yeah, I love that. The little Tito's truck now. All right. Well, when you're reviewing applications for our entry-level positions, what's the one thing that makes you think, I want to talk to this person?
Yeah. So it kind of depends. Am I looking at their resume or am I meeting them face to face? But either way, what we are looking for is potential. As an early career person trying to figure out this space and what do you want to do with your career, it is so important that you showcase your potential, right? And so, we've worked very hard to identify kind of what that means for us. And we actually hold a Gen Z 101 for our hiring managers to help them on how to identify potential as well.
Well, that's great. What's a small but common mistake you see Gen Z applicants or early career applicants making?
Okay, I'm going to get in trouble for this one from all the professors and career centers. The one-page resume. We literally don't care. I don't know how much more I could scream to in the back for everyone to hear. We don't care as long as it's relevant. I have seen students leave off extracurricular activities or sports that they're a part of or student organizations because it didn't fit into that one page. And those are really important when we're identifying that potential. You're showcasing your leadership. That doesn't always look like job experience, right? And in this audience, a lot of times it doesn't. So please have your professors call me and I can tell them why we don't care. Most of the time we're looking at it on a computer screen too, so it literally doesn't matter. But I would say make sure you're putting all of that relevant information. I don't need to necessarily know when you volunteered somewhere unless it's showcasing leadership abilities.
Right. Well, that's great advice. And I'm glad you clarified that because I remember in my day also, the Career Center, all the career counselors would always say entry-level positions, one-page resume, no longer. So that's really good to know. Thank you.
I think that most people in my space would agree to that, but it's a slow process to change that mindset for sure.
Yes. All right, let's have some real talk. Is the media right about Gen Z having underdeveloped soft skills, or is it overblown? What's your take on it?
Okay, so I talk to students all day, I have 3 young Gen Zers in my life at home as well, and I will tell you this, I hear this a lot. I hear things like, there's no focus, and, they're more interested in social media and influencers, etc. All I can tell you is that's not the students that I meet. That's not the students that are in my life. I find it incredibly overhyped and probably more of an instance of just not understanding each other, right? We all have something unique and individual, and we all have strengths to bring to the table. I think this generation's strengths are they're bold, they're hardworking, they're the most diverse and educated generation in US history. That's valuable. And if nothing else, by the end of 2025, they will be 30% of the workforce. So if we don't understand how to communicate with each other and lean on their strengths as well as ours, it's hard to be successful when you're talking about 30% of the workforce. So I think it's overhyped. I think that it's just more diversion in between the generations. If we look at what we each bring to the table, there's so much more in common than there is different.
Yeah,
And I always like to stress that we created this technology that they are now looking at all day long, right? So if there's anyone to blame for that, it's probably my generation.
Yes, we created the situation, right? Yeah, and you did use that magic word. It comes down to communication, right? They do have their strength, and they may communicate differently because of the technology. And that doesn't mean that they can't learn to communicate in other ways.
Yeah, and they have something to bring to the table, right? We all have unique perspectives. And I'll never forget, there was a young lady I met at Prairie View A&M, and if she hears this, I hope she messages me and tells me. But it was with another organization, and she said, she was asking what we were doing for our customers in the space of mental wellness. And I didn't have an answer for her. I knew what we were doing for our employees, etc., but I did not have that answer. And she said to me, I'm going to email you tomorrow. Can you get me an answer? And I was like, yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I love that. I love that accountability. I love the follow through. I love the boldness. It's a change maker. That's what I saw. That young lady was a change maker. And I would love to have her on my team because she's going to ask the tough questions.
That's great. I love it. All right, we are just getting started. In part 2 of this conversation, which drops in 2 days, Robbin is going to share how you can prove your skills without any experience, and why resumes aren't everything, and the number one thing that you can actually do this week to help stand out. So subscribe so you don't miss it, and see you in part 2.